Hey there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy, and today I'm going to talk to you about an event we had at Stampin' Up. I guess it wasn't at Stampin' Up, it was virtual, right? It was on the computer, whatever. Anyway, and I want to show you the cards that we made, and then we'll make a card together. And then at the end of the video, I'll show you some other cards that I made using the bundle, and another card that Shannon West showed that I absolutely love that I want to show you how I made that one too. So lots going on in today's Facebook Live, but this is what Stampin' Up sent us. So they sent us this flyer that shows the 3 bundles that they used. It has all the supplies down here, and then they sent us a list of all the sizes of the cardstock, so we get to be prepared and cut all of our cardstock. And really, to be honest with you, I was really bummed because they scheduled it on a day that usually I couldn't go. I had softball games in Granby, but due to weather, my softball games were canceled, and the last second I could go there. So if you don't know, I'm a softball coach at a high school in Arvada, Colorado, and that's usually why, like I said, I couldn't do stuff like this. But last minute, I was able to get in on there. So let me show you the cards that I made. Thank goodness I was happy about that. But the first card they made, they used this Cottage Rose bundle. Now, I don't have the Cottage Rose bundle, so I looked through my stash of stamp sets, and I came up with this Blessings of Home. Now, it's a bundle too, and as you can see, we did use the die cuts to cut the little flowers out of crumb cake in the back there. But when they had us cut this strip of So Saffron, I knew, well, I guessed we were going to stamp on this our greeting on here, so that's why I found the Blessings at Home. It had that strip that we could stamp on there. It had the nice flowers just like you would see in this stamp set, but I thought my card turned out really pretty. Now, if you want to see their cards or even do the event, now it wouldn't be live, but I'll put the link below so you can go on there and you could see what their cards look like, and I don't know, maybe cut some paper and make some cards along with them. It was really fun. Okay, so that's the Blessings at Home. That's what I used on this one. And then, of course, we did color the flower with some Stampin' Blends. I even colored the little pearls, and I think the pearls, yeah, these are these iridescent pearls. We colored those with the Stampin' Blends, and look how pretty those light Flirty Flamingo pearls are on that card. I just thought it turned out really nice. So that was the first card. And then the second card we made used this Warm Welcome bundle here. Now, the Warm Welcome is a sneak peek of what's coming. It's going to be in the January through June 2023 mini catalog, believe it or not. But it's an early release, so you can order it now, so if you're interested in that one. However, I didn't have that one, and I just recently purchased this Paradise Palms, and I was dying to play with it, so I took the paper kind of and made a card totally not like theirs at all. I used some of the technique. They did some blending with some Pool Party and Fresh Freesia, so I did that too. My card looks totally different than theirs, but I thought it turned out pretty nice. I had fun making it, and I got a chance to play with this new Paradise Palms stamp set. So that was card number 2. And then the last card looked like this. Now, this is probably pretty close to exactly what Shannon West demonstrated this one. And I think her card was my favorite. I absolutely love this Cottage Wreath bundle, so I was excited to use it again. I'll show you at the end of the video, like I promised, some other cards that I've done making this, with this bundle. But let me show you how I made this card. I'm going to go through the card measurements, or the cardstock measurements first. There's the wreath. Okay, so we have our piece of crumb cake here. Now this is 8.5 by 5.5, just scored down the center. I'm going to go ahead and fold it now, and that's going to be our card base. And again, I think I told you this is crumb cake. Okay, then the next one on here is a piece of basic white that's 3.5 square, so I got that one ready. And then it wants another basic white, and this one is this itty bitty 3/8 by 1.5. Now I cut 2 just in case, because that's hard to stamp on. Sometimes those little pieces of paper aren't the easiest, so I cut 2 just in case I mess one up. We'll set that other one aside. And then it says shimmery white. We want 2 that are 3 by 3. So here's my shimmery white in 3 by 3, and then one that is 2-inch squared. Now don't worry about writing all that down. You can always go to my blog, BeCreativeWithKathy.com, and I have all the measurements and a supply list there. Now that's all they required, but I always like to put a piece of basic white on the inside of my card, so I went ahead and cut the piece of basic white that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And that is, I mean, standard. We do that all the time. Okay, let's stamp first. I think that's what we're going to start with. So I'm going to stamp on, starting with this little basic white here and this one here. Now the ink color that we're going to use is Crumb Cake and some Flirty Flamingo and some Old Olive. And I'm going to start with the Old Olive. And in the stamp set, I'm going to put my card out here so you can see what we're making. Let's stick it in the corner up there. I'm going to use this leaf image right here. So I have it on a clear block. I'm going to bring in my stamp pad just so I have that little bit of cushion since we're using clear or photopolymer stamps. On the inside of my card, I like to bring the elements from the front to the inside, so I'm going to just stamp in that Old Olive. Let me get on camera here. That little leaf just down here at the bottom with my Old Olive. And then on this piece here, excuse me, I'm going to take that same leaf image and I'm going to go about a 1/2 inch down, and I'm going to do them in a circle to kind of outline my wreaths here, right? And I'm going to stamp 5. Did I already say that? So I'm going to go 1, and then I'm going to just barely make them touch like this, kind of keep them to the outside. And you know what? I changed my mind. I want to try something different. So this time, instead of, see how my leaves go this way? I'm going to try and have my leaf go out. Like, so it's not, see how it's going this way instead of, oh well, let's see if this looks any good. We might redo it on the back or just finish up what I started on the back. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stamp both of them, and then I can decide when I, yeah, look, and I don't like it. We're going back to this one. It was just a thought, not a very good thought, but let's keep going here. 3, whoops, and stick them toward the edge, 4, and then we have 5 there. And I like this one. This one doesn't flow, I guess. I don't know. We'll try it when we go to put the, nope, I'm not going to use it. I keep thinking, well, I want to try it with the wreaths, but I'm not going to. We're just going to go with this one. Okay, there we go. Stop, Kathy. Okay, now let's take and do the more stamping on the front of our card. I'm going to just take this image here, these little circles right here. I think they're supposed to be the berries, but I'm going to use that Crumb Cake ink, and I'm going to just create like some character on the front of my card here. I'm going to put a piece of paper down just so I don't stamp on my piercing mat here. But I'm going to stamp some at full strength, some at stamped off. I'm going to make sure that when I stamp the stamped off, that they're not off the side. If I go off the side like this, I want to make sure I stamp and then stamp here so I don't get those half-colored dots. So let's go ahead. I'm going to come down this side and do a couple more, maybe like that. Whoop. Just random, so it gives our card a little bit of character. So I think, let's see, now if we put this here, yep, I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to leave it just like that. Okay, so I'm going to bring in that scrap paper here. It's pretty bad, but I think it'll work, because now I want to create the pieces for my wreath and for my bow here. So on this little piece, I'm going to do some water wash color on there for my bow, and on these 2 pieces here, I'm going to do some water wash for my wreath. So with my green here, and I have a block that this is an H block, so it's long and skinny. I'm going to just pick up some of the green ink here on the edge, and then with my water painters, and now the water painters come in 3 different sizes. That has one brush that's pretty small, looks like this, right? And then it has a medium size and a larger one. For the green, since I'm using the bigger piece of paper, I'm going to use the green water painter, and it's got water in it. You just twist off the lid, put some water in the tube here, and then you squeeze where it says push, and I'm going to just get a couple of drops there on my ink block here and get some, there we go, some ink flow in there with some water, and I'm going to just go across my paper. And now I don't want it to be all like exactly the same color. So I'm going to first come in here, right? And just kind of see how it has some darker color, some lighter color. That's how I want it to be. I don't want it to be symmetrical. Is that the word I'm looking for? I want it to be very random and get lots of different color tones there. There, I think that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and do the other one. I'm going to go ahead and put that back in my ink again. Get some more ink on there. Whoop. And do the same thing now to this one. Now one is going to be the top wreath and one is going to be the bottom layers of the wreath, and so one you're not going to see as much as the other one, so I'm not going to worry, whoops, about the colors on one of them as much as I am going the other one. This one I just want to make sure it's green, although look, I'm loving the colors on this one. Let's add a little bit more water there. Make sure I don't have any white spots. Yeah, this one, I might like this one more than that one. Okay, I'm going to just let those dry. Now, instead of cleaning my brush and taking all that time, I'm going to just bring in that medium-sized brush and some Flirty Flamingo ink. And I'm going to do the same thing to that little 2-inch square. Sorry, I can't do two things at once. Of that shimmery white. And just put a little bit of water wash on here too. And there again, I don't want it to have, let me get some more water on there, all the same color. I want it to have some different color tones or different tones of color like this. I'm even going to set these aside and I'm going to take, let me get some more ink on here. Water, drip that, get that kind of dark like that, and then maybe just tap my brush on there and you can see how you get the splattered look on there. And then maybe daub some more color on there. There we go. Now it's pretty, it's not all one color. It's got a bunch of texture and colors on there. I'll just take these my brushes to the sink later and wash them with some warm water and get all that ink out of there. Now they'll be stained, but they'll work just the same once you have them washed good with just some warm, maybe some soap and some warm water. Okay, I'm going to set these aside, let these dry. Let's work a little bit more on our card. I have this little stamp from the Stamp Set 2, this little hello, and I'm going to take those little tiny pieces of white cardstock that we cut, and in the center here I'm going to just stamp that hello in some crumb cake cardstock. Hopefully I don't get my head in the camera, and it's going to be about in the center like that. And look how cute. So far so good, right? Then to give that just a little bit of character, but nope, I have panicked a little bit. On the inside of my card, I want to stamp one more thing. So I have my little hello here. I'm going to bring in some of that Flirty Flamingo ink, and I'm going to use this little bow image from the stamp set, and I'm going to just to bring in that Flirty Flamingo color to the inside. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that little bow up there at the top. And look how cute that is. Okay, now I think I'm all done stamping. I'm going to go ahead, trying to let these dry as long as I can on the video, and I'm going to put the inside into our card here. I'm going to just use some Stampin' Seal. Set that on the inside here. Now the die set that coordinates with it has all these images here. We're going to use this die here, and we're going to use this die here, and then that little bow die that's like a solid. All of these are standalone images. Most of the other ones cut out images from the stamp set. Okay, so let's bring in the machine. I'm going to try to get it done all at the same time. So I'm going to lay my machine down here. Then I'm going to put my number 1 platform my number 2 and adaptive plate. And then, where did my, here he is. I'm going to figure out which one, whoop, no, I need a cutting pad first. Then I'm going to put my really chewed up cutting pad right there. Then I'm going to lay my 2 green pieces. I think I can get all 3 of these at the same time. Yeah, look, I can. I'm going to just lay my little bow right here on my colored, what was that? Flirty Flamingo. And then with these 2 pieces, now you can see that one is just a little bit smaller than the other. The smaller one is going to be the front, and I think I like this one better, so I'm going to put my front on there. Although really this time I like both of them. Yesterday one of them looked really plain and just green. This time I have lots of different colors and textures on there. But let's go ahead and run this through the die cut machine. Like this. There we go. And that shimmery white cardstock gives it a really pretty shimmer onto the wreaths and stuff. There's our bow. Okay. Now to get these pieces out here, the middle just pops right out. But I'm even going to use my take your pick tool and a brush and just work here like this and get those pieces, all those little confetti leaf inserts. And look how pretty that one is. And then we're going to take this same thing and look how pretty that one is. Okay, now you could take your take a pick tool and try to get all those little bits and pieces out. Let me see how many I have left in there as to whether I want to worry about it or not. Let me clean up a little bit here. Now that we have our 2 pieces, yeah, I got to get some out. Oh, it did work that way. I'm going to just take my pokey tool here and get some of those centers out. Now this is the bigger wreath here that I have in my hand, right? And it has these pieces that will like fold out like this. And I found it easier if you just take the outer edge and kind of fold it down. Well, I say that now, but there we go. I think my cardstock is just a little bit wet still, and it's not quite folding like it normally would if it was totally dry. But then you can pop these little edges up. There we go. And you kind of have like a 3D kind of wreath. So let me get this the inside here too. And I'm not going to worry about the extra little pieces. I think that would just give my wreath some more character, that those pieces are still stuck in there. And who knows, they might fall out eventually anyway. Okay, so now just a little bit of character with my wreath there. Let's see if we liked it better stamped this way, because this would go down here. Oh yeah, look how pretty that is compared to this one. This was a bad idea. This was a good idea. So now just with some glue dots, I'm going to take and find just like the big areas of my wreath here and just set the glue dot there. And I think I'm going to use about 4. It doesn't take a lot. Whoop. Three, and then one more. Let's put one more over here. Okay, and then just take that and layer it here in the center of those little, get a little bit of character, and then we'll put some glue dots on this one here. Now this one, I'm going to go ahead and fold my glue dots over. That one fits there, but if you take your glue dot with your take a pick tool and just bend it in half like that, then you can just take and put it on that skinny part of the wreath. Let's do a couple more. One maybe there. And then one over here. And then we're going to take this wreath here and just lay it on top of that other one And look at all the dimension and colors and different, and look how pretty that is on there. I think it's beautiful. Okay, then let's go ahead and put this onto the front of our card. I'm going to use dimensionals on the back of this. I'm going to put 5 on there, 1 in each corner, 1 in the tummy so the tummy doesn't sag, or in the middle so it doesn't sag. Get those backs off. And then take our card base and layer that right there so it has an even border at the top and the sides. Then with that little hello, I'm going to just take my paper snips here and trim this side over here at an angle. Just give a little bit of character there. I'm going to put a couple dimensionals on that. Let's see if these big dimensionals fit or if I'm going to have to find my mini. Nope, they fit. Whew, barely, huh? So a couple dimensionals here, and I'm going to put the dimensionals close together because I'm going to let the edge of this piece right here just hang off the edge here, and then that way you can see it better. Like that. And then just like I said, sticking off to the side a little bit, and look how cute that is. Another glue dot here on my bow. And I'm going to put my bow just down here at the center of my flower. And then last, and of course, the best part, I think, are those little pearls. Let me find my putty and take a pick tool here. I'm going to use, and I'm going to just go like one big one, and then a couple, whoops, there we go, a couple little ones of the little pearls. Then maybe a big one, and then a couple more little ones, and just scatter those, whoop, I missed them, along my wreath, and look how pretty the card is. And see how pretty, all those little pearls on there, and what a pretty card. Don't you think? I think so too. That was my favorite card. Look there, the little pieces are falling off still of my wreath. I think that was my favorite card, but then at the end of Shannon's demonstration, she showed a card that looks somewhat like this, and I thought that is absolutely adorable. So I wanted to make this card. Let me show you how I did this card. Now I think it's close to Shannon's, but like I said, I could be wrong, and we probably won't make the full card, but let me just show you how I got my spiders in that perfect circle like that. Using my layering oval dies right here, I just picked a circle, and I'm trying to find it here. Hopefully I can find my circle that I cut. Nope, here he is. So I just cut a circle out of one of those, right? And then on the back of that, I'm going to put just a little bit of adhesive, and then I'm going to even use my arm, ouch, pull my hair out. I'm going to stick it to my pants real quick and try to get toward that adhesive doesn't have much stickums to it anymore. One more time on my pants. And then here in the center, now this piece of cardstock I cut at 3 3/4 by 5. I wanted quite a big border. I just put the color on color like that. I really liked that. I liked it plain and simple. So then I took it like that, a little piece of cardstock, and then I'm going to use a pencil, and I'm going to color, or just a light pencil mark, whoops, around that circle. Then carefully, very carefully, I'll take that circle off, which look, doesn't even stick anymore because of all that I did to it. And then with some Memento black ink, and that little spider that's in the image, let me find him, here he is. He looks like this right here that I think is absolutely adorable. I'm going to ink him up in Memento black, and I'm going to just stamp, and look, I don't know if you can see my pencil mark is pretty light, but I'm going to bring, oop, wait, one more thing. I want to bring in my Pierce mat here, but I'm going to stamp that spider so that that circle goes right through his tummy. And I might get my head in the camera, but I want to be able to see that pencil mark like that. And then I'm going to just keep going around in the little circle so it's still going through his body, trying to make it so his feet don't touch but are pretty close. Now this one might not be as good because I can't see without getting my head in the camera. Although look, so far so good. Looky there. Yeah, look how cute that turned out. A little spider wreath just like that. Then I just took, let's say this is going to be the inside of my card. I just took it like this. And with a black Stampin' Write marker, I'm going to just draw a little line down here about where I think my bow is going to go. Because my bow is going to cover up like that. And then I'm going to stamp that little spider right through that little line so it looks like he's coming up on the cobweb. Look how cute that is. Now I wanted my line a little bit longer this time. I might have gone a little bit too long, but let's see what happens. So again, with that little tiny piece of paper, just like the same size 3/8 by 1.5. Let me put this away. I'm going to ink up, whoop, that says hello. I want that little boo that's in the stamp set. And I'm going to ink or stamp that down here in the center. And yikes, I forgot my mat, but I guess it'll be okay. Hopefully. Yep, looky there. Just like we did before. Let's trim that at an angle. And then I already in advance cut out that little bow. Now this is in Pacific Point, so I don't know where Shannon got her colors, but I absolutely loved them and stayed with the same color tone or color combination or whatever. And I'm going to put that little bow right here. And it's going to kind of cover up where that spider web is coming from the wreath. And a couple dimensionals on the back of my, well, I think I'm going to, nope, I got 2 by accident. So I'm going to just put 2 little dimensionals here on my little boo. And look how cute that card is. Now, of course, I would do like I did before. I'd put it on some dimensionals, put it onto the same color card base. I love the tone-on-tone colors. And then I did on the inside of my card, I took this stamp set. Now, believe it or not, this Halloween, my favorite stamp set is the Paper Pumpkin stamp set that I got with my kit this year. So I just used this Halloween right here. I stamped it there. I did the same thing with the black and Stampin' Write marker, drew it and put the little spider down there. And I think this card turned out just adorable. Absolutely love it. It was kind of interesting when Shannon showed this because for our club this month at my stamp club, we're going to make a card that looks like this. And I did the same technique with the wreath using, now this is the candy cane, Sweet Candy Canes, Merriest Christmas. It's in the mini catalog, but we're using this stamp set, which I don't have right here for some reason, but we did the same thing. I put the circle around, I did the pencil mark, and then I just stamped the little green around the circle. Oh, which reminds me, when you're all done and you have your before you put that down, you can go back in there and erase. I totally had such a light pencil mark, I didn't even think about it, but you got to go back in there and erase that pencil mark. Once your ink is dry, especially if you have a nice white eraser, it won't hurt your cardstock and it won't mess up the ink at all. Okay, so now as I promised in the beginning of the video, I've used this stamp set quite a bit. Most of them I have done, I think all of them I have done as videos, so I'll show you the cards. If you want to see how they're made, you can go to my YouTube channel, BeCreativeWithKathy.com, or right here on Facebook. I have all the videos here, but these are 3 other cards that I've made using that same bundle. So there's all of them. Did they all fit in there? Nope, let's scoot it this way. But so far, there's all the cards that I've made using this bundle. And I didn't even use this card that I liked that I saw in the catalog, and that's the reason why I bought the bundle in the first place. So hopefully more cards coming. Look how cute they are. If you have any questions, be sure and let me know. Like I said before, if you want to join Stampin' Up! In the card making day, I'll post the link below and you can go and do the event that's not live at your own convenience, in fact. Alrighty, that's what I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you back here next Monday. Have a good week. Bye-bye.